I finished with the let's see. I quite disagree. What I would need from these people sometimes is, specification. What do you need? What do you want? What is missing? What's isn't right? Hey, that thing. Why? Let's see. So I wonder, what do we need to organize if the organization is already given?
No, but actually we just need to like put all, of course, your organization is given, but as you upload weekly new documents, we always have to like take them and put them somewhere. And I really, really struggle to like
copy my structure.
have them in the same like folder and anything. Yeah, for me it's really difficult.
But why?
Maybe I did not get the whole structure, but
Okay, let me explain the structure to you. What we have is one words.
Yeah.
And then we've got the first one word, second one, all the words that we're going to do. Some of them I've already put in there, even though we haven't done them yet. And then we've got the global word, which we have finished. And then there is the two authoritarian states, particular and not. And that is pretty much it. We've got skills here when we've been doing skills. Other than that, there's a start investigation part and the reading schedule, and I put the feedback here, but it's not gonna stay there forever.
but like I cannot take the folder skills into my folder. That's not possible. I just cannot. It doesn't work. I just can't take the little folders in the folder skills.
So
I
can you
can,
make your own section?
Yeah.
So you just make your own section
Yeah,
of skills and then you fill it with.
It's just the question was if I like it or not.
Yeah.
I do not like it.
Okay, what about the others? What other reasons are there for not liking to work with How can I help? Yeah.
I don't think there's anything you could do. It's just personal. I don't like that. For all other subjects, I have to do it myself with like on my computer and it's stored there on OneDrive, but then this is on OneNote. But that's just personal. I don't like that it's the only subject that is on OneNote and the rest is somewhere else.
Okay, so the alternative to using OneNote for me is EBS, where I upload worksheets in a PDF. Because when I use Word, and you need to write, if I use Word, there will always be format changes. However I make my sheet, it will always look different with you because you have Mac, so you have this, you have that, there will always be format changes. It never comes out the way I designed it. That's one thing. The second thing is that's why I use PDFs, and then you just can't write into it. I mean, you can, but it's like I find that out there. So
I just want to say that you can just copy and paste the text and put it in OneDrive. Maybe that helps.
That's a lot of extra work, and I think if you often upload section, like you upload kind of a picture. No, it doesn't. Yes. And that's of course.
but does this mean that 40% of you would prefer to work with PDFs?
Yes.
What other alternatives are there that I'm not aware of? Do you have any other teachers where it works better or that you prefer, or how else can I do it? Sorry.
I wouldn't know how, but just so most teachers don't have that much text and that many prepared pages, yeah. But for example, Herberger has it, but he uses a printout script, so that's then paper again. But yeah, I actually like one.
You see when it's conflicting. Well, I'm open to suggestions. So if you have any good suggestions of other programs or ways that you would prefer or something, then let me know and I'll love it. We'll practice more. And the piece, that depends on the kind of text it is. That really depends. I can't give you a master solution that will apply to all of them. It's different whether it's a diary entry or whether it's a history professor that writes a history book. it is always very different. But we'll practice. We'll practice. Today. Yeah, we got all the hints. I started doing more content. You seem to like it. It's a walk on a tightrope. It depends on the class, it depends on the topic, but we just have to get the skills in. So ask questions. If you don't get it, ask. Okay. Then you see, I don't expect you to know everything. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here because you can just read the book and know everything. The thing that bothers me is you not talking to me. Because if you say, I don't understand this point, then I'm happy to explain. However, you just sit there and look at me like I'm speaking Chinese, that just takes me off horribly. So what I just don't want you is for you to be quiet. If you tell me I didn't get it, would you please explain it again? I will explain it again. But you just sitting there not saying anything drives me up the walls. So that's my main issue.
Good. It's just sometimes it's not like one question. It's like a lot of things that are confusing and I could not answer in one question.
But then we have to start somewhere else.
Sorry?
But exactly in that case, you have to let me know so we can start at some other point. So we need to go back or tackle it differently. But that's exactly the situation when you should say something.
Okay.
Okay, so most of you feel more relaxed now. This answer here, due to uncertainty, at least I'm scared because it could be wrong. Can you listen if it's wrong? Students often do that. I don't get it. You're here to learn. If you were already perfect, you wouldn't have to learn. So you learn through making mistakes. Making mistakes is okay. I didn't get the impression that you laughed at each other when somebody makes a mistake. So what are you afraid of? That attitude you need to get rid of. You get to learn. And part of learning is making mistakes. Because also, unless I know, or unless you talk to me, whether it's right or wrong, I don't know whether you got it. When you didn't get it, you go over it again. When you did get it, you'll continue. So you just need to talk to me. So get rid of that attitude. It's very distracting. Anyway, please open the windows. That's so nice. Yeah, I would suggest that following the reading schedule and actually doing your work is very easy. Yeah. If you don't do that, you will be hopelessly lost. Especially when we focus on skills and I'm not going through the content to the PowerPoint, then you'll just be lost. So that is the very minimum you need to do. The rest is study skills.
Yep, again, the structure from OneNote, how do we do those folders with those like things?
What are you talking about? Like this with skills?
Yeah,
Okay, you go on Options and Supervision or Add section.
yeah.
You do right mouse click, and then you have my options group. No. Do you have a Mac?
Yes.
Then I cannot help you.
Too much Apple control and so forth.
Pick on you. We said I won't do that anymore. Why? Because I make people cry sometimes. That's why. No, but it.
I was like,
You have to be picked on. Yeah, no. You know the difference between picking somebody and picking on somebody, right? Okay.
we don't mean.
Oh,
that's
you should proper vocabulary.
I didn't mean it like that, I just meant through this one.
No, I said I wouldn't do that. Politics, no, sorry. There's no way. I mean, if you think you have a lot to do for history, particularly in politics, and having less time for history is very short way to increase pressure. Other things you need to do. No, there will be no pop quizzes next week. Just so you know. We stopped doing pop quizzes a few years ago, since no longer that. Because the pop quizzes are supposed to, I mean, in fourth grade. Pop quizzes are supposed to force you to study, so you know the details, so you can actually write the paper too. So I think that you've right now understood that you need to know the details, so you can write the paper too. The rest is up to your self-discipline. So there will be no pop quizzes next year. Either you study or you don't. The result is visible in the paper too. You're old enough now. So no pop quizzes next year. But yes.
What grades do we then have in next?
Paper twos. Only paper two, yes. Like
More paper two.
more. You have 4 lessons a week next year. There will be lots of paper twos.
And what about paper ones?
You're going to practice paper one when you do revision, which is going to be in February, March of next year. Other than that, no. We'll practice some skills in class. And we'll write paper twos. Right?
Is the next paper two obligatory? Okay. But the one's next year.
Because I'm really hoping for Corona to kind of get lost. But we'll see. Optional pop quizzes, no. No paper two practice, definitely. You know, not doing skills. Yes, very high probability of failing math exams.
Literally ethics.
Okay, so generally you seem to be quite content. And there are some things we can improve. And let me know about the OneNote and other things. You can come up with something that you need. Now, did you finish this one? You have 5 more minutes. Thank you.
How many more minutes, sir?
I don't know.
How many more minutes? 5 more minutes.
It should go to this project. Is there anybody who would like to write the paper?
Which one?
Is it written there maybe?
Where it says consolidation of position and then
No.
close percentage.
The topic is here. We want to write it.
I will as well.
I want to read
I have a question.
4.
So I would like to write it, but I can't improve my grade. Is there a possibility to write it and not count it?
I'm not going to correct it in that case.
And you're not really writing.
Okay, so 3 people? Right. Okay. Let's talk about your question. Use an ID command to rephrase the question. This is not a proper statement. Yeah, Jason.
To what extent, maybe?
Rephrase the full question.
Well, to what extent was Hitler's rise to power inevitable?
Are there any other solution?
Evaluate whether Hitler's rise to power was inevitable.
Good. Anything else?
To what extent was Hitler's rise?
You could also use examine or discuss. Examine whether Hitler's rise to power was inevitable. Discuss whether. Same thing. Just the answering structure is going to change a little bit. Okay, arguments for both sides. What arguments did you find? For evitability or inevitability?
Well, an argument for editability is that in the 1933 elections, the Nazi Party actually lost many seats.
An argument for, I have that after the Great Depression, the Nazi Party greatly gained popularity, which therefore boosted his ability and his position in the party.
What?
The Weimar Republic is very unstable. Um, 1930.
You need to have the years, huh? You need to have them, and you have to go to yes, it was. But you can't make a general statement because that's not true for the entire time. What time frame are we talking about?
1920 to 1933,
Why 1920?
because that's when the Weimar Republic was founded.
No, that's not true. It was founded in November 1918. And what's the end date?
1933,
Which date exactly?
I'm not sure.
When did Hitler rise to power? Yeah, which date? Precisely. When? In 1933.
When he was like chancellor, no?
Yeah, and when was that?
That was in January.
30th of January 1933. The end of January 1933. That is when he rose to power and became chancellor. That's when his rise to power is finished. This is important because the essay question will focus on the different time frames that we've got here. Not here yet. In the book, we have got emergence of the state. We've got establishment and consolidation, so consolidation of power, or maintenance of power. We have these different phases, so you need to know the dates and the events that go with them to justify your choices. Do you have anything else? Editable, not editable? What about economy?
The economy was very weak, and this was, of course, due to the Great Depression. And the Nazi Party offered, I forgot the exact words, but it's kind of like a sense of relief to the people, I guess.
That is true, but that's not the entire rise. Let's have a look. We've got this first argument. We said the Weimar Republic. But again, you need to specify when. Now we're talking during the Great Depression. Or are we talking the entire time? What do you say? Are we talking the entire Weimar Republic for this point? Or are we talking something else?
I think we just consider after the Great Coalition collapsed, 1950.
You could. You could also argue if we leave the call for political change aside, you could say, hey, the Weimar Republic was never supported by the right-wing parties, not from the start. Remember we said there were anti-democratic parties in the parliament and in government. That actually applies to the whole time period. Okay. Failed coalitions, mentioned. Fear of communism is very important. Because one of the reasons people were right and didn't were elected, the good chancellor was that the alternative was communism. Communism was also very much on the right. And then we've got this is very important. Never forget the Great Depression. applies to multiple, but work applies here to Germany. And then we also have quite a lot of arguments against this flexibility or inevitability. We've got the Dawes plan and the Young plan. After the Ruhr crisis, after hyperinflation, these two plans actually brought great relief. And Germany was doing fine. We've got the roaring 20s, we've got Berlin as a major capital of the world, we've got culture, we've got innovation, we've got technology, we've got booming, everything. They were doing fine with the Dawes plan and the Young plan. And then came the Great Depression. This one, Lenny has mentioned. The NSDAP was actually losing in 1932, it was going down. And Hindenburg didn't need to appoint it. But the alternative was download and comment. Right.
How are the golden 20s the contract?
Because Germany was doing fine in the Roman 20s. With the Dawes plan and the Young plan. So after 1925, they were doing just fine.
Oh, okay.
1925 until 1929. They were fine. Also, the political murders, the putches, the attempts, the uprisings, all of that was contained in those 4 or 5 years. It wasn't up to it. That was before. And the emergency decree was not really necessary. Hindenburg didn't have to do that. So there are quite a lot of arguments for, hey, it didn't need to happen. It wasn't a given that the Nazis would rise to power. Remember the windows? Okay. Second revision question, which we've already discussed now. Time frame and steps. Time frame is clear. What time frame would you need? Which steps would you need to discuss in an essay? Okay.
Well, how it started, and then gain power and achieve power.
Which precise steps? How did you get started? What event are you?
Well, I mean, one that comes to mind was his trial push in 1922.
I was starting on earlier with the foundation of the party. So that was, when was it, 1919 or 21?
Yeah.
21. And then we've got the failed butch attempt, and then what next important step do we have?
Like consolidation of power, he tries to put the SR under his control.
And you're skipping a lot of years. When did they start having success in elections? Much earlier. Much earlier. I think you need to read this one first. Details emergence. Development of the party between 1919 and 29. Which you're going to have to do better. You see, these things, I do think that you should know, because if you have done your homework, I do think that you should know, because if you have done your homework, and done all the reading and taken notes, these would be easy facts to figure out from your notes if you have made them. And that's where I am a bit impatient. So I guess I read it. Because I do think you should know these nice little facts. Okay, take a break.
Yeah.
live stream just dropped in viewers.
Well, what?
Oh, I don't know. We just lost 3 viewers.
Damn,
That's
a shame.
Look at that. That's
Very nice.
beautiful. I have the best fans.
Of course, bro.
Yeah. My God, it's
Oh,
beautiful.
together.
Only 2. Oh, 2
Correct.
fans. All right, we'll end the
What?
stream here, guys. Take care.
Bye bye.
Peace.
No.